As we are going to discuss about route determination and also storage location determination. So we are going to discuss about route and storage location determination. If you remember that a few days back we have discussed about shipping point determination, how the shipping point determine how the shipping point determines in the sales order, that we already completed, and also we discussed about how the plant determines in the sales order. We have already discussed about the determination process or the determination rule for plant and the shipping point. So how the plant will be determined? What is the criteria for the plant to determine during the sales order?
Venkat, I think first it will look at the customer material information record.
Very good.
And if it doesn't find, it goes to the customer master record. Then it goes to material master record.
Yes. So first of all, in order to determine the plant during sales order creation process or in the sales order document, first it will look at, or first it will find, is there any plant assigned to the customer and material combination. So we have a master record called customer material information record. That is very specific record. That record is very specific to the customer and the combination of the material. So because of that reason, system try to find, is there any specific plant, is there any plant which is specified, which is maintained during that combination, during that record, like during the combination of that maintenance. If nothing is found, then it will go and look at, is there any plant maintained in the customer master record or not. If it is there, it will determine, or it will update in the sales order. If that also not there, then the system will go and look at material master record. So it will go and look at material master record. If there is any plant available, if any plant is maintained, then it will determine that. If system did not find plant anywhere, like customer material information record, customer master record, material master record, it cannot determine the plant in the order. It will give the blank, like the plant field will be blank. There is no value will be assigned to the plant of the sales order. So this is the plant determination criteria. Okay, and then shipping point determination. So how the shipping point determination happens? So what are the different elements? But in contrast to the plant determination, shipping point is determined with the combination of, shipping point will be determined by taking into consideration of the different elements, by combining different factors, different parameters, different elements. So what are the three elements? What are the three elements system look at and determine the shipping point in the sales order?
Shipping condition, loading group, and shipping point.
No, one more. Plant. So basically, in order to determine shipping point in the sales order, what the system will do? System first look at what is the shipping conditions available in the customer master record. What is the shipping conditions available in the customer master record? It will hold it. It will get that and hold, and then it will go to the loading group, like material master record, and find what is the loading group. Okay. First, when the system is trying to determine shipping point in the sales order, first it will look at the sales order's customer shipping conditions. System try to look what are the shipping conditions of the sales order in the customer in the sales order. What are the shipping conditions of the customer in the sales order? And then it will hold, and again then it will check what is the materials loading group. So what loading group is maintained for this material in the sales order, and it will take and hold it along with the shipping condition, and then it will look at what is the plant, what was the plant already determined in the sales order. So when we are creating the sales order, plant also determined, right? Using the previous rule, plant already determined. Then it will take the plant. So by taking into those three elements, so what the system will do, look for the configuration. So the configuring the background. So what is the shipping point defined? What shipping point is defined for these three criteria, like loading group, shipping condition, plant. For these three criteria, what is the loading group available in the configuration? So whatever is defined for those three element combination. For example, shipping condition is 01, loading group is 0001, and plant is GB00. So for these three parameters, for the three combination, whatever the shipping point we defined in the configuration level, it will take that shipping point and assign to the sales order. So everybody clear how the shipping point is determined?
Yes.
Okay. So in the similar way, there is a rule for determining the route also. There is a rule for determining the route. That means basically whenever you are performing the shipping, whenever you are performing the activity of shipping the goods to the customer, delivering the goods to the customer. Okay. So especially when you are implemented with the transportation module, when you are implemented with the transportation module, so what happens? We need to design in the system. We need to tell to the system what route the goods, the shipment, what route the shipment has to follow. So what is the route the shipment has to be executed during the shipping process? I mean to say that, so for example, so if you are delivering the product from Georgia, to California, so there might be different routes, right? There might be different routes. So whenever you are performing that delivery activity, there is a need to tell the system, there is a need to guide the system what route the system has to take into consideration to perform this shipping activity. So because of that reason, what SAP has given a configuration, a rule SAP has defined, SAP has provided a separate determination rule for route as well. SAP has given a separate determination rule for route as well. The route determination is based on 4 factors. So those 4 factors are, let me take an Excel. So how many factors are determining the shipping point? How many factors are determining the shipping point?
4 factors.
3, right? Shipping point 3, right? Shipping point 3 factors. Okay, but whereas the route determination is based on the 4 factors. I am going to explain those 4 factors. Just give me a few minutes. My system is very slow. Okay, let me get into the system. So I would like to explain directly there itself. Okay, so the 4 factors the 4 factors which will determine the route during the sales order is, okay, so the 4 factors which will determine the route during the sales order are the departure zone of the country, the departure zone of the country, and the destination zone of the ship to party, the destination zone of the ship to party, shipping conditions from the sold to party, that is shipping conditions from the customer master, and transportation group from the material master. Okay, the four factors are departure country. In other words, the country of the delivering plant. Departure country. I will explain each and every one. At very high level, I want to tell you. So departure country, a departure zone. Departure country or delivering plant. So delivering plant is nothing but departure country, right? So from where you deliver, so wherever your business exists, that place you deliver, right? From the place where you are doing the business, the plant, the place where you are manufacturing the goods, the country where you are manufacturing the goods, the country where you are doing the business. So that is the departure country, right? That is the departure country. So using the departure country is one criteria we will determine the route. The first one is departure country, and the second one is what is the destination country. So the first one, when the system determining the route, the system take into consideration of first factor, that is what is the departure zone and what is the destination country. Like what is the departure country, what is the destination country. Yes, we have to take into consideration, right? So if you want to ship the goods, you need to know, the system needs to know. So what is the starting point and what is the ending point, or what is the source point, what is the source destination, and what is the target destination. So obviously the target destination is the destination country, the source destination is departure country. Am I correct? So those two are the first two elements. And the third one is what are the shipping conditions for the customer master. So in the sales order, you might be having customer and it will take into consideration of the customer master shipping condition. That is the third parameter. And the fourth one is it will go to the material master of the sales order. It will go to the material master of the sales order and look at what is the transportation group for the material master. So these four elements, departure country zone, destination country zone, shipping conditions from the customer master, and a transportation group from the material master. So by taking into it will look at those four elements and go back to the configuration and look what is the route defined for these four elements, what is the route configured for these four factors, for these four parameters, or for these four elements. So this is the way how the system determines the route during the sales order. Okay, so let me go to the log into the system. Okay, so SPRO, okay, already in SPRO. It's not in sales and distribution, it's part of shipping. If it's part of the shipping process where we can find shipping related configurations, deliveries, delivery types, delivery item categories, shipping points, routes, where we can, under what part of configuration? Is it part of SD?
In logistics.
In the logistics execution, okay? Logistics execution. The logistics execution can go to the under logistics execution shipping. So basically under the logistics execution, there are three parts. Three major parts. One is warehouse management. Warehouse management is also part of the logistics execution. And then shipping, which is SD shipping, and even from the MM shipping. Basically inbound or outbound shipping. That also part of logistics execution. And transportation. So some companies, the transportation process also, transportation module also implemented. So that is also part of the logistics execution. Okay. So now for the route, we need to go to the shipping and basic shipping functions. Basic shipping functions. Under the basic shipping functions, we can see routes. We can see route. So the shipping point which we already discussed earlier. Now this is the route. Okay. So define the routes. Define routes. So basically, you can define your own routes. You can copy like existing routes, and you can define your own routes. So the routes could be like western route, or northern route, or eastern route, or north south route. So based on, you don't need to worry. It's all provided by your company. Then the description of the route, is provided by the company. And what you can do, you can take, for example, if you want to configure a route for your company, for your client, you can copy any existing route. You can copy any existing route, or you can go to, okay, just change okay. So like this, you can specify the route, and there are some values. If you really need, you can maintain, but in general, like these values will be specified by the business. Okay, what could be the shipping type, or what could be the transit time? So what could be the transit time? So what is the travel duration? Okay, so like what is the travel lead time? I don't know. What is the factory calendar? So basically, there is something called factory calendar. There is something called factory calendar in SAP, factory calendar in SAP, in which we specify, okay, what days the factory is running, what days the factory is off, like what are the holidays for the factories, what are the working days for the factories, what are the shift timings for the factories. So on what day, at what time the shifts will be starting. All the production requirements, or the factory production requirements, will be defined at the factory calendar. So you can also assign the factory calendar to your route, so that if system is trying to use the route on a holiday, it can say that, so route, the factory calendar which is assigned to the route is having holiday today, so that it will not allow. So like this, there are some controls using the factory calendars. So for example, if it is like this. So if your factory calendar says today is holiday, then you know what happens. The system will not run any planning. The system will not take into consideration of any planning for today's date. Or if it is working day, then the system will take into consideration of the today date as a working day, and it takes into consideration of all the stock, all the raw material requirements, all the parts requirements. So whatever the raw material is required for the today's, so that will already calculated by the system. So how the system take into consideration? The system look at the factory calendar. The system look at the factory calendar. It is working day. It will estimate what is the requirement of the product, or what is the requirement of the raw material for today. If it is holiday, it will exclude the today quantities from the planning side. So in the similar way, when it comes to the route, so when the system is performing any route process or shipping process, if the factory calendar is assigned, if it is holiday, it will not take into consideration consideration of route related activities on that day. So like this, the factory calendar will help the system. Okay, we can assign the factory calendar. We can assign the the distance. What is the distance between what is the distance if you use this route? Okay, if you use this east and east and west transportation route, what is the total distance in kilometers or miles, or what is the shipping type we are going to follow? So what is the mode of transport border? Okay, who is the service agent for this route? So these kind of information you can specify. Okay, and in general again, the route is used only when you implemented the what I can say a transportation model, but it's nothing bad in knowing about it. Okay, so if you want to define the stages for route, you can also define stage 1, stage 2. Okay, stage 1 from where to where. Okay, and stage 2 how much time it will take, stage 3 how much time it will take, because we don't go one stretch, right? We don't go one stretch from New York to California. So we can have different stages when you are shipping the goods. So those stages also we can define here. Okay, so you can define the route by copying an existing route, and we can also define the route stages. So once you define the route, this is the just defining the route. This is just defining the route. But in the next configuration, so for what four parameters? What will be the route? And again, and next different four parameters, what will be the route? And another four different parameters, what will be the route? That means if transportation group is 01, departure country is XY, destination country is AB, and transportation group shipping condition is 01, what is the route? So like this we need to tell. So first you need to configure the routes here, how many routes are required, whatever the number of routes are required for our company, you can define those routes here, and then you can configure the routes based on different parameters. That is what we are going to do in the next configuration. Okay, so this is defining the routes, whatever the number of routes you need, you define here, and then this is the place where you define the route determination. So this is maintain route determination. Okay, give me 1 minute. Okay. So these are the 4 parameters which I have specified. Country of departure and its zone. So basically country of the departure in the sense departure zone. Country of the departure means country of the departure zone, and country of the destination means its zone. So basically the first 2 parameters are country of the departure, country of the departure and the country of the destination. These 2 things. So once you take the 2 combination, and you can go inside where you can specify shipping conditions and the transportation. See, this is the way how you can define. So the first parameter is country of the departure or the country of the departure zone. Basically country of the departure and the country of the departure zone, and also country of the destination and its zone. Country of the departure and its zone, country of the destination and its zone. These 2. Along with these 2, the ship system also take into consideration of what is the shipping conditions in the sales order. So I repeat it. So whenever the system is trying to determine the route during the sales order, so what it does, first it will look into what is the sales order's departure country. What is the departure country of the sales order? So obviously the departure country of the sales order will be identified when the system look at the plant. So in order to find the departure country of the sales order, system looks at the plant. When it looks at the plant, when it is looking at the plant, it can find the departure country information. And then the destination country. How the system knows what is the destination country of the sales order? Can anyone guess?
I think the sold
By
to party
sold
address.
Correct. Basically ship to party, but you are correct. You are all correct. Okay. So to find out the destination country zone, it will look at the customer master record. So first is departure country zone or departure country that is identified for the system using the plant in the sales order, and then destination country zone that will be identified by the system using the like customer master record, and then it will look at again the customer master what are the shipping conditions, and then it will go and look at what is the transportation group of the material master, so based on those 4 factors, the system come back here, the system will come to this place. The system, once it find all those 4 parameters from the sales order, it will come to this configuration and look, okay, if my departure country is DE, if my destination country also is DE, shipping condition is 01, transportation group is 001. So what is the route? And this route will be determined in the sales order. Okay, this route will be determined in sales order. If in case, if departure country zone is this one and the destination country zone is this, and shipping condition of the customer master is 02, okay, and the transportation group of the material master is 01, then what route? This route will be determined. And again, if the departure country is same, destination country is same, but the shipping condition is 03 and transportation group is 01, it will determine this one. So like this, by taking into consideration of all those parameters, system will determine the routes during the sales order process. Just give me 1 more minute. Let me go to the US. Okay. If departure country is US and the destination country is US, and then this departure country is US and destination country is also US, and go to the route determination. So here what happens, I can define different routes. If shipping condition is 01 and the transportation group is 0001, then I want the proposed route, GB00, right? Okay, so like this I can say. Okay, so but whereas if the departure country is this, destination country zone is this, and shipping condition is 02, okay, shipping condition is 02, and the transportation group is 01, what route? It is 00001. So like this you can define. Okay, you can define based on the parameters what are available in the sales order customer master, sales order plant, and customer master shipping condition, and a transportation group of the material. Based on those 4 factors, the system will be determining the route whatever you define here. Okay, so you can save it. It's not a difficult concept, but just you need to know, and it's very default interview question. So whenever you keep 5 to 3 to 7 years experience, if you keep experience less than 7 or 8, even sometimes if you keep 10 years also, it's a default question. So how the route will be determined, or how the shipping point will be determined. So when you keep more than 10 years of experience, generally these questions will not be asked in the interviews. But in general, when you keep 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, till that range. So all these determination rules are important. Plant, shipping point, route, and the next one we are going to talk about the storage locations. Okay, and I'm going to explain you one more thing. Okay, so you are using the 4 parameters, right? So what 4 parameters you are using? You are using the transportation zones, right? Transportation zones, right? Like when I go here, departure zone means it's a zone. It's called transportation zone, departure zone or destination zone. So whatever the zones you need, you can define here. Whatever the zones you define here. Whatever the zones you need. Okay. So for example, if you look at US, there are different okay. So Eastern, okay, Mountain, Central, Pacific, like this you can specify the zones and where you can assign these roles. These zones will be assigned to the customer masters and the plants. I will explain. So if I go to the customer master, is our customer, you remember? Okay, take this customer, go to XD03. Let us try to create. You see, so this is the place, whatever the zone you configured here, whatever the zones you configured in the configuration. So whatever the zones configured here, those zones will be available. For example, if I want to configure, okay, this zone is created. The zone will be assigned here. I can assign that zone here. Okay, this is the zone, right? So like this, you can assign the zone. So this zone also one of the factor which is determining the route. Okay. So that's the reason we need to define, like basically, if you want to assign any transportation zone to your customers, where do you need to define? That has to be defined as part of the route determination. Okay, understood? The zones can be defined here. Okay, and then that the shipping point and all. So where we define the shipping conditions, you define the shipping conditions here, right? We define the shipping conditions here. And what is the one more thing? So one is departure country of the transportation zone, destination country of the transportation zone. These two zones, those two zones will be defined here. Okay, defining the zones and shipping conditions from the customer master. So where, if you want to assign the shipping conditions to your customer, where do you need to define? You need to define the shipping conditions as part of the shipping point. If you define the shipping conditions here, those shipping conditions will be available to assign to the customer master while creating. Am I correct? Right?
Yes, Venkat.
Whatever the shipping conditions you want for your customer to be assigned, those shipping conditions has to be defined in the configuration under shipping point determination process. This is the shipping condition. Okay? And whatever the transportation zone you would like to assign to your customer master, that has to be defined in the defined transportation zone of the route configuration. And the next one is the transportation group, right? Transportation group. So where can you define the transportation group? You can define the transportation group. Once you define the transportation group, where will you assign this transportation group? While creating the material master, right?
Master.
While creating the material master, you have an option to assign this transportation group. Okay, you define the transportation group under the route determination. Define the transportation group under the route determination. So whatever the transportation group you want, container, train, pallets, like forklift, whatever it is, you can define the transportation groups here, so that when you try to create the material master, all this list, all these 41 list will be available, and whatever you want, you can choose there. Okay, so this is the way how you can define transportation groups and also transportation zones. And one more small thing is, sometimes basic four factors, the basic four factors which will be determining the route are departure country zone, destination country zone, shipping conditions, and also transportation group. These are the four things. But sometimes based on your weight also will be one of the additional factor. It's not standard. I mean, it's not regular. Sometimes if the weight of the product is more, so we may not be using the same route, right? We may be using like a different route. Okay. So because of that reason, SAP has given an additional parameter which can be used to determine the route using the weight group. Okay. So what you can do, this is route determination without taking into consideration of the weight. That means at the sales order level. Basically, you define the route, you configure the route for the sales order level, which is not taking into consideration of the weight. Because order level, we don't know exact weight. Okay. We may be knowing, but it's not fixed weight, right? Because during the delivery, we may be changing the quantity. Am I correct? So order level, it's just estimation. Sometimes you may not able to deliver the exact quantity. That means you may be delivering the reduced quantity. So because of that, it is not good idea to take into consideration of the weight of the product during the order. Am I correct? The weight.
Yes, Venkat.
The weight will be changed based on the quantity, right? So due to that reason, so SAP has given one more route determination option, that's everything same, just adding the weight as the additional criteria. When, at what time? During the delivery, not in the order level without weight. But when it comes to the delivery, what you can do, you can add weight group also an additional criteria to determine the route. Maybe let me show you. So like this: departure country zone, destination country zone, shipping conditions from the customer master, transportation group from the material master, and weight of the product. Okay. So weight of the product. Okay, is the weight group. If the weight group is one case, if the weight group is 400 lb, if the weight group is 5000 lb, if the weight group is 10,000 lb. So based on the weight group, you will be determining the different route. At what point? During the delivery. So if it is order level, this will not consider, right? When you are determining the route, when the system finding the route for the sales order, it will not look at the weight group of the product. It will only take into consideration of departure zone, destination zone, shipping condition, transportation group. Okay. If it is the delivery level, the system will also take into consideration of the weight group as well, along with these four, and then determine the route, whatever the route it needs. Okay. Okay. So this is all about what we need to know with respect to route determination. And one more thing that is also like a similar kind of thing, that is called storage location determination. Okay, storage location determination. Let us take 5 minutes break. Okay, we will continue. 10 minutes. Let us take 10 minutes break and we'll join. Okay. Okay, I am back. Is everyone back? Vivek, are you back?
Yes, Venkat. I am back. Umera, I'm back.
Okay.
Yes, Venkat. I'm back.
Vivek, Vijay, Nandini, Shailaja, are you all back?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, Venkat. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, basically, when you are executing the delivery process, when you are performing the delivery process, we need to tell the system from which storage location we are getting the goods. Okay, in which storage location the goods are available, or in which storage location the goods are ready for delivery. That even though we have planned, it is not that all the stocks are in one place. Am I correct? Even though we have planned, we don't keep all the stuff at one place. There may be different areas, there may be different locations where you keep different types of stock or different kinds of stock. You agree with me? A plant is a factory. It's a very big place where you have different areas. In one area, you may be performing welding related activities. In another area, you may be performing painting related activities. In other side, you may be doing the stamping related activities. And in a different place, you may be doing assembly. You are performing assembly process. And also, in addition to this, there may be different locations, different storage locations where you store the goods. That means you keep raw materials in one storage location, you keep finished product in one storage location, you keep all the bad quality material, bad quality material or quality and inspection material in one place, and you keep in one storage location all the written products. Right? If you go to the Walmart, you see a specific location where they keep all the written goods. Right? They don't mix the written goods with the regular finished goods. Am I correct? So if you
Yes,
go to the
sir.
Walmart, you can find a place, you can find a location where all the written goods are placed, and you can find a place where all online pickup goods are available. You can find a place where all dairy related products are one location. So like this, even in the factory also, there are different locations, different storage location. The location where you store the goods. Storage location means the location where you store the goods, where you keep the goods. So those locations may be one location for the finished goods, which is good one location for the return goods, one location for the quality and inspection material, quality and inspection goods, like those products are still need to be verified, the quality of the goods. And also you keep all raw materials in one place, right? So this is the this is the way how the plant is structured, how the plant is divided or classified into different storage locations. So whenever you are doing the outbound delivery, if I go to the outbound delivery, it's already there. Huh? Okay. Okay. If you go and try to perform in outbound delivery, okay, this order is incomplete. So price is incomplete. Let us maintain the price. So this is the way how you can maintain price manually for an item in the sales order. But whereas if you create a condition record, then how can you make sure that condition record price will come to the sales order? What you need to do? So this I am entering the manual and price entry. But if you create a PR00 condition record in the background as a master record and maintain 1000, if you want to get that price to this sales order, what you need to do? You have to use the update button and then carry out new price. This is what you need to do. Okay. So if it is for whole sales document, you can do. This is for one item. This is for specific item. But you have 100 items. You have 100 items and you created price records for all 100 materials. You created price for all. You created master record, price condition record for all 100 materials as part of master data. Now you wanted to update that record price to all 100 materials in the sales order. What is the way? You want to update one by one? Or is there any approach? Do you want to update like this for every item and going back and go to the item 20 and like this? You want to do that? Or what is the other approach? To update the price for the whole document level, for all items in the document, for all items in the sales order. You can go to edit, new pricing document. If you use this button, if you use this option, then it will update for all the items, whatever the new record price, new condition price available, that will take all, that price will be taken for all materials in the order, all items in the order. Okay, at one entry, one click. Let me save it. I think it is still incomplete. Let me check it. What is incomplete? Okay, there are many things. Let me try other material, okay? Because it will take much time. Why it is T_GTR? GBS underscore 123. So why the item category will be redetermined? Because I changed the material. So when I change the material, why the system is determining the item category, redetermining the item category? Why the item category is redetermining when I change the material? Any answer?
Yeah, the material might be configured with the different item category.
Group. Okay.
Right, yeah.
So to determine the item category in the sales order, for an item, what parameter system will consider? It will look at what is the sales document type, and then it will look at what is the materials, what is that item category group. What is that material or item? Item or material is same, right? What is that item or material? Material item category group in the material master. Okay, those two will be the main parameters. So since I change the material, what the system thought, maybe the item category group might be changed, right? So we may not use the same item category group for the same all materials. That's why system is trying to redetermine. So whether the new material is also having the same item category group or different material group, different item category group. If it is the same item category group, it will determine the same item category. If it is different item category group and different item category is configured in the background, then the new item category will be determined in the sales order. Clear? Understood?
Yes, Venkat.
Okay. So now I am continue. What is the good order? This is good one, right? This is complete order, right? Did we change anything? Like previously it used to have, let me create a new sales order. GBOR. Okay. In completion. Okay. Document is complete. I'm doing the delivery for this. Okay. I'm doing the delivery for this. So let me go to the display of the sales order. So new sales order is created. Let us check the schedule lines. Okay. So at what date the quantity is available? The quantity is confirmed only for 100. The quantity is not confirmed for the May 3rd. There is no quantity. That's why it is not able to deliver. Sorry, VL01N. Go to order. Okay, this is the main problem. So anyway, this is what we are going to discuss. So basically, in order to execute the delivery process, we need to specify what is the storage location. What is the storage location, or from which storage location? From which storage location you have to select the goods and deliver the goods to the customer. For that, what you have to do, you have to go to SPRO, IMG, under the picking, shipping. It is part of picking process. Determine the picking locations. So before you define this, before you determine the storage location has to be configured, right? If you remember, before you define the shipping point, before you determine the shipping point rules, what is the prerequisite? The shipping point has to be configured in the enterprise structure, right?
Yes, Venkat.
As an organizational element, you have to configure there. Okay. So define the location. So the GB, let me delete it, create a new one. Go to the new entries, GB00, and then location also GB00. Oops, we created something. Go back. GB00. Okay. We have the GB00 storage location. That means it's already configured. So go to the assignment section. So it's already in the while definition itself we connected. While defining the storage location, we already connected to the plant, right?
Yes, Venkat, I think so. We configured when we were
Okay.
creating an enterprise structure.
Then we can go to like our SPRO, storage location determination. So here, so define the rule for shipping location determination, assign the picking locations. Okay. So there are three elements. There are three elements which will determine the picking. Okay. Please remember, please keep it in mind. Whether it is the storage location or picking location, same. We generally use storage location. The terminology which is being used to refer this concept is storage location determination. From the system perspective, we also call it as picking location determination. Picking location or the storage location. Please do not get confused. Even you can see here. The description says that picking location determination, but we are determining the storage location only. So what are the three parameters defining the storage location? One is the shipping point. So the shipping point, and the second one is the plant, and third one is the shipping conditions. So basically, based on the shipping point, based on the plant, and based on the shipping conditions, it's not the shipping condition, it's storage condition. Okay, it is storage condition. So based on the shipping point, and based on the plant, and based on the storage condition. So based on these three elements, the system will determine the picking location or storage location. So at what level it will determine? Not in the sales order. The automatic determination of the storage location is the automatic determination of the storage location will not happen in the sales order. The automatic storage location will not. If you want to assign the storage location in the sales order, you have to assign it manually. If you want to assign storage location in the sales order, you have to assign manually. Okay, you have to assign manually. But if you want to determine the storage location automatically, where you can do that?
It will be in the delivery.
You can do it in the delivery. So whatever the configurations you are doing, it is for what? Whatever the configurations, whatever the storage location determination we are doing here, it is for the determining the storage location during the delivery process. Okay, please remember, whatever the automatic determination process, whatever the determination process we are configuring, whatever the determination rule we are configuring, whatever the determination process we are defining in the configuration, that is for determining the storage location automatically during the delivery process. And if you want the storage location to be available in the sales order, that has to be manually done in the sales order processing. That means at sales order level, storage location determination rule will not work. It will not look at the configuration. It will not determine. You have to enter the manual storage location in the sales order. But whereas delivery creation, it will automatically determine based on this parameter. So what parameters it will look at? It will look at what is the shipping point of the transaction. When you are creating the delivery, you enter the shipping point, right? You enter the shipping point, and then that shipping point is already connected to plant. So that plant also will be taken into consideration. It will look at the plant, it will look at the shipping point, and then it will look at storage conditions of the material master. So each material master we define the storage location. So what are the preferred storage location for this material? Okay, under what storage conditions? Under what storage conditions this material can be stored? Whether we need the refrigerator, whether we need the packed items, whether we need the 0 degrees or whatever it is, whatever the storage condition required. So that also will be taken into consideration to determine the storage location, right? So these are the three parameters. So using this, system will determine the storage location in the delivery process. So let us determine our own. So we don't have our own storage location. Let me copy GB00, GB00. So you don't need to use the storage condition. Even if you don't use the storage condition, still what location will be determined based on these two factors. It is not that you compulsory use all the three elements. You can use just one element or two elements or three elements. So if you don't use any storage conditions, then what you can do? You can simply use your shipping point and the plant. Based on these two, the GB00 storage location will be determined automatically. Understood? Vivek, if you want, you can define, not a problem. But you need to assign that storage conditions in the material master. You need to. So let us do that also. So define the storage condition. Let us say storage condition refrigerator. Okay. It's not done. The interface.
Venkat, in real-time scenario, will the storage conditions be entered or they use standard?
Storage location.
No, storage shipping conditions.
It's not shipping. It's storage conditions.
Oh, sorry, storage conditions. Sorry.
It's based on generally like if it is, for example, automobile industry or mechanical industry, we don't have any storage conditions, right? But if it is
Okay.
food industry or pharma industry, medical industry, we need some storage conditions, right? Okay, then we can use. It's based on industry to industry.
Okay, Venkat.
Looks it's not done. Let me check it. Okay. Is there. Okay, I understood. Let me go back. So let me delete and configure one more time. So GB00, GB00, company US. Let me go back and come again. Okay, I will check it later. Maybe I'm not sure why it is not taking, but basically these three elements, the storage location determination during the delivery process based on shipping condition, plant and storage conditions. I will show you the storage condition. Storage condition. That tab, the storage location tab we did not maintain. Let me go and create MM01. I can extend this material to the tab. So right now, this material is not extended to those fields. Okay. We need to see what material type and industry sector has been used for our material. So I will tell you where we can see that. So if you want to know what is the material type and what is the industry sector we have been used for the material against material description and the material, you can see I. If you go to that information, you can see material type is finished product FERT and industry sector is pharmaceutical industry. Okay, remember pharmaceutical industry and finished product FERT. Now when you are extending that material, when you are extending that material to different departments, when you are extending the same material, when you are extending the existing material to the different departments, as of now you created for only sales, production, if you want to extend it to plant maintenance, if you want to extend it for finance, if you want to extend it for costing, then you have to go to the MM01, the creation transaction, enter that material which you are trying to extend and select the industry what you selected while creating and select the material type which you used while creating it. Okay. Okay. So now you select whatever the tab you want. So basically the storage condition is maintained at the general plan data storage 1 and the general plan data storage 2. Okay, the place where you can maintain the storage conditions is under general plant data storage 1 tab and general plant data storage 2 tab. Okay, so here you need to specify your plant name and your storage location name. Okay. Okay, anyway, it is not configured properly. I have to check it. But this is the way once you maintain the storage condition here, then you can use that storage condition as one element to determine the storage location. Okay. So this is about the storage location determination. So once I fix it, before starting the next class for first few minutes, I will explain this one more time. And then we will move on to the copy controls. So if possible, I would like to schedule one class in weekdays. Otherwise, the next class is scheduled on Tuesday, Saturday morning. We'll start copy controls and try to finish on Saturday. And Sunday, we will be starting availability check and transfer requirements, which is very, very, very important. Okay. Even the copy control functionality also very, very important. It takes like 2 hours of time. Copy controls also. Okay. So thank you.
Okay, Venkat.
Please join next Saturday. Unless and otherwise, I will message you before that.
Okay, Venkat. Venkat, have you sent the previous class recording?
I will send today.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
Please refer all the recordings and
Okay.
to create some transactions. Okay, so that it will be easy for you understanding availability check and transfer requirements. Okay.
Okay, Venkat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Venkat.